Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be looking at a 4132 tactic titled We Win Everything. I actually found this tactic on FMBase. It's one of the top tactics suited for mid-table teams and underdog sides in Football Manager 2023. We're going to look at the player roles, player instructions and team instructions, and you can also look at the tactic in detail for yourself to see if it's suited to your team. And we're also going to test out the tactic with some random teams across different parts of the world, different leagues, 3 teams in particular that I went on to select. Then we'll see just how good the tactic is and see it in action, and you can draw your conclusions, and at the end of the video you should probably have an idea if the tactic suits your team style of play or the current players that you have in your team, and then we can go on to grab the tactic, give it a test, give it a run in your Football Manager and see how it goes. So I will be testing this tactic with Young Boys in Switzerland, Madura United in Indonesia, and Aluminij. Hold on, let me confirm. Where is this? Slovenian second division Aluminij. Looking at the tactic in detail now, we have a sweeper keeper here on attack duty and there are no instructions attached to him, but one thing that stands out for me in this tactic that I noticed is that the ball playing defenders are not both on defend duty. One ball playing defender is on cover duty and he has been asked to dribble more and tackle harder, while the ball playing defender that is on defend duty has also been asked to dribble more and tackle harder. Usually you see 2 ball playing defenders on defend or 1 ball playing defender and 1 central defender on defend, but this time we have a ball playing defender on cover duty, which is quite unique, and I like the fact that there's a super keeper on attack duty as well. You have wing backs on support duty, crossing to the center, tackling harder and marking tighter. The defensive midfielder is the one DM in this role and he has been asked to take more risks, tackle harder and mark tighter. In attack you have an inside forward and support duty on either side, and they have somewhat identical instruction but not completely. On the right hand side you have inside forward on support duty, pass it shorter, run from positions, tackle harder and mark tighter, while the inside forward on the left hand side has been asked to pass it shorter, shoot less often, run from positions and tackle harder. Your 2 advanced forward up front, 1 advanced forward on the left hand side has been asked to take or pass it shorter, take more risks, shoot less often and tackle harder, while the advanced forward on the right, same instructions goes for him as well. So for the team instructions in this tactic, the general mentality is on positive, and then when you're in possession you're supposed to ask your team to, or the tactic goes on to ask the team to play out of defense, look for the overlap on the left and on the right hand side. Approach play has been set to pass into space, while the passing directness is on shorter with the tempo set to very high or extremely high tempo. Dribble more instruction, that's the runner defense instruction, has also been included, while the crossing has been selected to whip crosses. For in transition phase, this is kind of straightforward as well. Counter press and counter have been selected because of the numbers that they do have up front. 1 2 3 4 5 players. You can see it's split into 5 and 5. 1 2 3 4 5 players available. You can go on to counter press, and then the counter once possession has been won. The goalkeeper has been asked to distribute the ball quickly, but rolling it out to either of these players that are going to be here, even though that has not been selected. When the goalkeeper is rolling the ball out, more often than not it's going to be to the centre backs or to the full backs. And then when the team is out of possession, the high press has been selected. Just as I mentioned, having so many players up there is going to enable you play with the high press, and then high defensive line to try and bring that back for and the defensive midfielder a lot closer to the other players. Much more often trigger press, prevent short goalkeeper distributions, and get stuck in as much as possible. So we're going to peep if this tactic has any set piece instructions. By the way, if you're new to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when more Football Manager tactic testing videos do come out here on the channel. I do go on to share Football Manager hints and tips related to tactics or all other Football Manager experiences. If you're interested in Football Manager content, you can go on to subscribe to the channel and also leave a like for this video if you found it interesting. That really helps the channel and offers some support to the channel. So let's move into the tactic screen then. Looking at the tactic in corner routines, this is the way the corner is set up defensively, RC, and then the corner on the left hand side, this is the way it's set up defensively. In attack, this is the way the corners are set up near post with 1 player covering or 1 player coming short to try and pull that defender out. Left and right, I am guessing that they're both the same. Yep, they're both identical. That's the way the corners are set up for this tactic. Looking at free kicks then, I don't really know if people go on to set up their free kicks, but this is the direct free kick in defense, and on the left hand side, on the right hand side, it kind of looks like the default set piece routines, and this is the way it's set up: direct attack, direct left and right on attack. Moving on to the small chance of a shot then, left and right, this is the way it's set up. Indirect wide free kicks left and right, this is the way it's set up. looking at the indirect deep free kicks, this is the way it's set up. So he kind of moves the central defenders to go forward. That way they have higher chances of winning the header. For attacking throwings, left and on the right hand side, this is the way it's set up for the right hand side, and this is the way it's set up on the left hand side. That also looks different because the central defenders are also going forward for this long throw. So in case the player wants to throw it long or throw it to somebody that can actually cross the ball into the box, you have your top players in there that can go on to win the header for you. So back to the tactic screen. We're going to go on to test that tactic. We're currently at the 31st of January 2022. This is the latest database for Football Manager 2022. You can go on to download that from sortedoutsI.net. I'm going to attach a link in the description so you can download the latest database. This includes all the latest transfers as of yesterday when the transfer deadline day closed. So every player is where they're supposed to be as of the current window. That's why my game is currently set to the 31st of January 2022 when I went on to start this new save. So we're going to simulate the season to the end of the season in May, and then that's May 2023. And then we're going to see how our random teams went on to do using this we win everything tactic on Football Manager 2023. So we're here at the end of the season, May the 31st, and Young Boys currently are sitting pretty in first, 95 points in total. That's how well they did with the tactic. Had a goal difference of 75, so that's how good they went on to do. 124 goals in the league, and then in the Europa Conference League they were knocked out in the semi-final by Ghent. So Young Boys made it all the way to the semi-finals of the Europa Conference League, and in the Swiss Cup they're currently in the final. They have the one outstanding game against Servette. For player stats, we're going to look at everybody. Most assists came from the Young Boys player Ulises Garcia, and then Castrat Imeri was also there in third place with 13 assists. Garcia had 15 assists. Most passes completed, Donvos, but this is probably a goalkeeper, David von Balmos. I'm just guessing. Yep, goalkeeper had the safest passes, 90% passing accuracy, so that rolling the ball out to the central defenders was actually quite helpful. The most goals was by a player at FC Basel, but in second place, Jean-Pierre Nsame went on to, he's a Cameroonian by the way, went on to take second, 19 goals all season, and the Zakeri was the one player. And then we had other two players as well, 15 and 14, so the goals were somewhat spread across the entire team, so everybody had a chip in. Meshak Elia and Philip Ugrinich. Yeah, I think I got that right, Ugrinich. That's how well this team went on to do with this tactic, and I think Young Boys were somewhat predicted to win the league. I can't really tell whether it's supposed to be them or FC Basel, but I'm certain that one team, Illuminate, is one team that I expected to win the league, and they did go on to win the league with a goal difference of plus 38. Considering where they are in the league, I need to see what they had the most goals in 78 goals, most points a game 2.17, most possession as well came from Triglav. Okay, Illuminate had 56% possession. I'm interested to see what tactic Triglav were using to have 74% average possession. Come on. That's really, really interesting. Okay, we can look at the most. Okay, just to clear my mind, let me peep and see what tactic they were using. And looking at the senior squad, what system did they play to have 74% possession? 4-2-3-1. Wow, that's just wonderful. That's just wonderful. So back to what we were doing, and then most points per game, eliminate shots, most shots, they were in there as well. And then Triglav obviously had the fewest conceded, so we did concede a lot of goals despite the fact that we went on to win the league. And then our co-competitors were actually Triglav, so they could have won the league if we weren't doing as well as we did. And then we can look at the last team here, Madura United in Indonesia, and they went on to finish in third place. I think they were predicted to finish in fourth place, but let's look at the league just once again to see how well compared to where they were expected to finish in the Indonesian League 1 season preview. Madura United were predicted to finish 15th place. Wow, I was wrong completely. I was totally wrong. So they ended up finishing third place. And looking at the competition to see how well they did in the league, most goals was by Madura United, 85. Persija was in there with 80 as well. Most possession, Madura United had 50% possession down in 8th place. Fewest conceded, 41 goals. They did concede a lot, but it was enough to actually help them to get up to 4th place. Most points per game, 2.06. For a team that was predicted to finish mid-table close to the bottom, they did do well to get their numbers all the way up and finish in 3rd place in the league. They got knocked out from all the other competitions as well, but that's how good the tactic went on to work out for them. So if you did enjoy this tactic, or if it looks like this tactic suits the kind of players that you want, the kind of system that you want to play, you can go on to hit the download button down in the link in the description attached. you can go on to download the tactic for yourself and see how it works out for you. I'm going to catch you guys in more Football Manager tactic testing videos like this. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you can get notified when new videos do come out here on the channel. Again, thanks for watching, and if you're not already subscribed to the channel, remember to hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,500 subscribers before the end of February and hopefully 2,000 subscribers before the end of March. Thanks so much for all the support, guys. I'll catch you much later in the next video.